Okay. Sorry for our tardiness here. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake anybody? Y'all ought to come to the 10 o'clock meeting that we had this morning. That'll wake you up. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Cuyahoga County Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee this Tuesday, February 2nd. Where is the time gone?
Calling the roll, Mr. Gallagher.
Call the roll, please.
Calling the roll, Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Greenspan. Mr. Germana. Mr. Germana is absent. Mr. Hairston. Here. Ms. Conwell. Here. There is a quorum.
Thank you. Reverend Pinckney, I assume, is our public comment? Come on, ma'am. Good seeing you today. There you have it. There you have it.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
For the agenda item, and I would like to come back for the non-agenda item. For your resolution 2015-0279, you know I always come in representation of the church as well as my other political endeavors because God is political. And for your scriptural reference, I would give you Isaiah 61:2 and Luke 4:19 for today. And I would ask that when you enter into this contract with the Sadler and Camp Financial Services Incorporated, doing business as ProWare, I'm asking that you would establish a relationship with us in the church to know where our people are. Because when you arrest people and they go through the process of the criminal justice system, we lose the relationship with our members, and we have responsibilities as stewards over the lives that come through us. And if there are people in need of services for the church, we like to be a conduit that would be available for the healing. And we like to have some type of data and information as to the whereabouts of some of our members, or all of our members if we possibly could. As I told you, I am part of multiple organizations, including the United Pastors and Missions, and I have my own organization, the International, Coalition of Heterosexual Clergy, and I would like to work with you for the healing of the people. I know you're not here to just lock people up because you have nothing to do as if they're animals, because you are really trying to get them rehabilitated. And with this agency or this company that you're going to do business with, please give us some data so we can help you to heal the people. Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings us to, we have some VIPs here that might be in that wheel well. We have Sheriff Pinckney. Nice to see Sheriff today, and Director Bova. Welcome, Director. Okay. Ma'am, could you read 20, oh, I'm sorry. In your packet, you have the minutes of January 19th. All in favor? Against? Thank you. 2015-0279.
Resolution number 2015-0279, authorizing various contracts with Sadler and Camp Financial Services, excuse me, doing business as ProWare, in the total amount not to exceed $18,500,000.
Ma'am.
All right, good afternoon, committee. So we're here today to kind of review where we're at with the MSA. And as a follow-up to our last meeting, I do have signed contracts for the Court of Common Pleas General Division with the clerk, the probate court and domestic relations, and the MSA. So what we've done as a recap is we have the general MSA that applies to all three contracts, and then we have three individual pricing schedules that covers the different courts and the specific work that's to be done there under. So if there's any questions you guys have, as an update to the resolution, we are modifying the time period of the contract to run from February 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2020, and a amended amount to $13,959,072.
Okay. That's our proposed substitute. Could I have a motion to adopt the proposed substitute in place of 2015-0279?
So moved.
All in favor? So our working document is the proposed substitute. Any questions? Mr. Greenspan?
Thank you. So the, obviously, we've had some concerns with ProWare in the past insofar as access between the various user groups. That's more of an operational issue than a contractual issue.
Correct.
But has that issue been resolved? Do we have, I asked the previous question, or previous meeting, a question regarding the use of ProWare between the courts, the sheriff, the clerk of courts, and other bodies. And I was told that between the court and the clerk of courts, they're about 95% of the usage of ProWare. Has that free exchange of information, understanding been reached between the courts and the clerk of court?
Yes, as of now, the relationship between the courts and the clerk is great. The operation of the system, and each party has the access that they need to do the work that they need to do. I think in response to your question, the percentage allocation was more based on the support that ProWare is providing. So it was 95% of the support that's required under the contract is being provided for those two agencies, and then there's a small subset that is for the other two. But in terms of access and usage of the system, I believe that everyone has the access that they need.
Has there been an MOU?
We're discussing it and determining what needs to be memorialized in a document that was proposed to the court and the clerk as an option instead of those provisions being in this contract, as it didn't pertain to the work with ProWare. So they're kind of deciding what they need to memorialize and what they don't. And I think right now, with the working relationship that they have, the concern wasn't as great.
Okay, and then the sheriff and the prosecutor and the public defender, those are the other users of the primary users of the software?
I think it's the Court of Appeals, the sheriff, and is there a component with the prosecutor? Yeah, it's just the sheriff and the Court of Appeals.
Okay, so the public defender is not
That
a
was a
user?
discussed project that did not get finished yet.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, we dealt with the public defender during the process of the budget, and they're still working on theirs. Madam Clerk, would you please approach?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you satisfied with where we're at with this?
Yes, I am satisfied.
And with this MOU, please keep us abreast, because while you're the users, we are the payers. We are the controlling body, and we're going to maintain our position regarding the process.
I absolutely will keep you informed as it progresses. We are just concerned, as I've shared with you and with this committee, that the clerk's office is able to do their statutory functions and we can access information.
Right.
And so that's what's going to go into the MOU. But I will keep you, the committee, informed via you, if that's okay, Councilman.
Absolutely. We don't want to be heavy-handed, but we do want to be part of the process because of the problems that I've seen in the past, and I still see, but it is what it is. I'm getting older, I think, in the way in which I approach things, but still not happy. But as long as you are, I guess I can live with that. Is there any other questions? Are there any other questions for the clerk or no? Emily? No?
Just to clarify this, it's a 5-year contract at 13 million, 14 million a year.
59 months, but yeah.
Yeah, so roughly about 4 million, 3 million, 2 million, I'm trying to do math in my head, just under 3 million a year.
Yeah, every year isn't the same amount. The years do differ, so they go up and down based on the projected expenses that the courts have based on their needs and their schedules for upgrades. So the amounts do change, but across the 3 courts, it's approximately 3 to 4 million a year for all 3.
And Councilman Greenspan, it's also for at least the contract or the statement of work that the clerk's office and the Court of Common Pleas, if you look, there's in Schedule A attached that breaks down the cost per year in the back of the agreement. Right.
And the out period is?
30-day. Sorry.
Yeah, that's correct.
Pretending to be a lawyer. 30-day. Right.
Must have stayed in the Holiday Inn. Okay, and Mr. Greenspan?
Do we own any of the software enhancements that
We do
we
not.
cause?
They still maintain all ownership under this agreement as they did previously pursuant to the license that we signed 20 years ago.
And under that license, if we cause for a software modification, whether it be a new report or a new way of looking at data, we don't own that, which is what you're saying, but is ProWare prohibited from using our upgrades with any of their clients?
They are not. The upgrades that are made to our system are unique to our system and in terms of the day-to-day updates that are being made, and we do have access to our source code for backups and those purposes, so we are protected from that standpoint. In terms of the bigger functionality that's being developed with us, as I've discussed with ProWare, there's an analysis that's being, so all of that work, I should say, is considered most of that work is considered out of scope. And so we get a statement of work detailing the work to be done. And as I understand it, there's a pricing model that's being used where if it is a function that has usefulness outside of our courts, that there is a price reduction. So we're not paying for the full cost of this, where it would apply to other customers that they have. If it's something that's specific to us and they can't resell, then there would be a price difference for that. But the majority of it, we're getting a price discount because we don't own it. So we're not paying the entire price.
We're not paying full, but judging how you keystone costs, if we're paying, three times the cost and they reduce it by half, they're still making a margin and they have the ability to resell it to another consumer.
Correct.
Effectively off our dime.
They do. We do have the ability to negotiate every time that there is that statement of work
Right.
provided, and we can go through that analysis when we need to and make sure that we're not paying more than is necessary. And it's not just a blanket, go do this and we'll pay you. It's a conversation to be had.
Yeah, that's a bad provision in the contract, the original contract. Okay, all right, thank you.
And that this is still unique to Cuyahoga County. Hamilton County obviously has a different contract with more friendly terms.
Their contract is different. Yes.
Yeah, I still have a hard time with that. I guess because I'm rational. Some might argue. Okay, I want to keep my blood pressure down. Any other questions? Any questions for the vendor? Okay. I have a motion for Resolution 2015-0279 as substituted to the full council for second reading suspension.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you. Emily, thank you very much. I know you've put an awful lot of work into this, and I charged you to do this in a manner in which maybe you might have been a little uncomfortable, but you provided, I think, Cuyahoga County with a reasonable contract to go forward with the next 5 years. And I thank the folks from ProWare and the sheriff and the previous sheriff for their help. Thank you. And the clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eddie, thank you. Miscellaneous, probably one of, other than the ProWare contract, my favorite subject, the fire damper program. The Great Wall of Cuyahoga, as we call it. But it's moving. I sense brick upon brick.
Yes, we are moving forward. Good afternoon, Councilman, Committee.
Good afternoon.
T.
Good seeing you.
Morales, reporting on fire dampers for the Department of Public Works. Last time I was here, we spoke about the Virgil Brown building and the fire dampers at that facility needing to have all the angles replaced because they don't meet current code. I'm pleased to report that all 397 fire dampers have been corrected. We've installed new angles. We actually brought in an engineering firm to look at the building for us because four of the dampers we found did not meet current code. They provided absolutely no fire protection to the facility at all. That yielded a report from Erie County Goss, which gave us a location where we removed 4 existing dampers and added 4 dampers in those locations to make the building compliant. Currently, we put out to bid for the old courthouse to have an abatement done. We have 105 fire dampers that need to be replaced at the old courthouse, but they're in locations where they're not accessible because there is ACM material laying around. We have a notice to proceed that was signed yesterday by Precision Environmental, and we have a site visit scheduled for February the 4th and anticipate work to begin on February 22nd. As soon as we have a clean space in the courthouse where we can mobilize staff to begin installing and repairing and replacing dampers, we will start that project from our end. The fire damper report that's on the website currently is the July report. By the end of the day today, the December report will be on the website.
Okay. Questions? Mr. Greenspan?
So in totality, with what's left?
In totality, what we have left are 105 fire dampers at the courthouse. In the in the jail 2, there's 1 fire damper that the electricians are making some repairs to. That one will be completed before the end of the month. In jail 1, there's a programming for 8 fire dampers that Johnson Controls is working on. In the courts towers, there are 5 fire dampers that will be, we have an engineering firm looking at a way that we can design or modify a scaffold to be able to reach the fire dampers, because where they sit right now, they're not accessible. You can't reach them. And that would be it. All the other buildings are completed.
Okay, great. And what's your estimated time, excluding the scaffolding issue, what's the estimated time to complete the other open items?
Before the end of May, we should be complete at the courthouse
And all other buildings are
and
done?
all other buildings.
Are done, they're completed, okay.
And that's barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Okay, all right, great, thank you.
In the spirit of the legislation, when does the rotation start?
The rotation will start in January of 2017. It's actually March is the date, but we're in the process of developing an RFP that will go out for bid. And we'll do that here in the second quarter of 2016. And the contract would begin in January of 2017, giving the contractor enough time to mobilize and begin his inspections so that we're to date on all our inspections within their 4-year window.
And that's a 4-year rotation?
Yes, 4-year rotation.
Great. Mr. Hairston? We're good? Anyone else? Well, it's been a long road, but, you know, some things have to happen, and unfortunately, we found problems at the courthouse, but fortunately, we found problems at the courthouse so we can fix them to move this forward. So in the end, it's been a long road, and it's been rocky at times, but I understand by taking our time, we're at a point now that I think not only our employees, but our guests in our facilities will be comfortable and with the knowledge that at least fire protection wise through the damper program that we're safer.
Absolutely, I agree.
If there's nothing further, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Have a good day.
Other public comment?
Yes, Reverend Pinkney is signed in.
I want to, first of all, applaud you for what you're doing. You represent Caesar and I represent Christ. And overall, we're supposed to be, we are representing humanity and trying to do some things that are in the best interest for each. And I came to you today because I'm very concerned about this murder-mindedness, Chairman Gallagher. And I would really, a realistic approach. I would like to know what it would take to redirect the funding for the production of guns and these other weapons of warfare, like the alcohol, tobacco, and the other things that cause destruction to the body, for our public safety benefit, to be redirected in another area so that we could direct our funding towards building homes instead of halfway houses. You're not going to be able to answer me today because that's a very big request. But I would like a realistic answer as to how we can do that, because it really is time to do some things quite differently. People are getting murdered now just for something as basic as a pair of sneakers. And I know you want to spend your money on something other than building more jails. I would be glad to work with you on that. Not because only I'm a living witness of crimes that have been committed against me, not only because I've been in the process as a probation officer to seek other solutions for people other than to have to request that they go to jail, but because it affects us daily. And we want something else. And people now are seeking solutions. They're running to places for safety. At an appropriate time, I'd like to come to the table with you, and I'll bring other clergy with me, and I'll bring other people who are affected by this, and I'd like to see what we can do to each one of you committee members. We want other things. We don't want potholes. We don't want prisons. We want palaces that kings and queens and our children can live in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anything further? We're adjourned.